Hey, what's up, nation? I'm Scott from MuscularStrength.com, and today we're going to talk about 5 exercises that need to go away forever, but never will. And some of these exercises are exercises that are just completely useless, and then some of these exercises are variations of what you're supposed to do, but people do them a different way because either they want to lift more weight or they've been fed a nice plate of bro science and they just don't know better. But after today, hopefully, if you're doing any of these 5 exercises, you will not only know what not to do, but I will teach you the proper way to do them or give you an alternate exercise to help you maximize your gains in the gym. So let's get started. So the first exercise I want to talk about is 21s for biceps. And I know so many of you are going to go down that comment section and be like, no, 21s are the best exercise ever. I get a really big pump when I do them. Well, a pump doesn't build muscle. What a pump is blood being forced to the area, not necessarily muscle breakdown for regrowth. Guys, 21s were originally invented for shoulders, okay? And it wasn't doing a lateral raise, halfway and then like this and then all the way, all right? Which is essentially what you're doing with the bicep 21s. It was invented to hit all 3 heads of your shoulders. That's why it's 21. So you would do 7 raises like this, 7 raises out to the side, and then 7 raises to hit the rear deltoids. And that's what a true 21 is. The 21s that gained a lot of popularity because of the pump was this right here. You start off, you do 7 reps like this at the bottom, then you bring the weight up, and then you do 7 reps like this, and then as soon as you're done that, you go all the way down and all the way up for 7 reps. And guys, I'm not sitting here saying hey, you're dumb for doing this. I used to do these all the time, but it was because I didn't know better, and that's what everybody in the gym was doing. So if you're currently doing this, it doesn't do nothing for you. And a lot of people will say, well, if you do the half reps at the top, that works the bicep peak more. Guys, the bicep peak, there's only 2 heads in the bicep. There's the inside head, and then there's the outside head. The outside head is the peak, and if you want to grow the peak, you need to do exercises that place more emphasis on the outside head. And this top range of motion like this doesn't do that, all right? And then there's also the brachialis, which is right here, which can also help increase your peak, but that can be for another video. So if you're currently doing 21s, and you would like something more intense that's actually going to give you more muscle building opportunity, then I want you guys to try something I invented called Mercy 30s. And they're labeled this way because they are intense. And the way you perform a Mercy 30 is you start off with a wide grip and you go all the way up and all the way down for 10 repetitions. As soon as you finish those 10, you're going to do an inside grip and you're going to go all the way up and all the way down. And then as soon as you finish those 10, you're going to do a neutral grip and then go all the way up and all the way down until you complete 30 repetitions. And the reason why that works better than doing 21s for biceps is because on every single rep of your Mercy 30s, you're working the entire range of motion. And guys, in case you didn't know, inside grip like this, when your hands are like this, you target more of that outside head. When your hands are wide, you target more of the inside head. And then when you use a neutral grip, you're targeting both heads. So there you have it. That's exercise 1. Let's move on to exercise 2. The second exercise on my list is the close grip bench press. And it's not because the close grip bench press isn't a great exercise for triceps. It's just that people like to do it wrong. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. And I'm sure you've seen this in your gym hundreds of times where people will go up to the bar and then they'll pick it up with their hands about, 3 inches away from each other like this. And then as they do the repetitions, you'll notice as you go down that your wrists kind of bend in an awkward way. And when you're lifting a lot of weight, what this does is it places a tremendous amount of pressure on your wrist. It can actually start to put some pressure in your elbows as well. And I don't really know where this originated from, but a lot of people seem to think that they're able to target their triceps more when they bench this way, or they think because the exercise is called a close grip bench press that they have to grab as close as humanly possible. So guys, if you're doing this exercise and your grip is like this, you're doing it wrong. What you need to do is just get a grip that's just wide enough so that when you get to the bottom position of the movement like that, your arms are to the sides of your torso and you're able to keep your elbows under your wrists the entire time you're pressing the bar up and down. And that's going to not only take pressure out of your wrist, like when you would hold it like this way, it's going to take pressure out of your wrist, and it's also going to enable you to lift much, much, much heavier weight without any pain, and you're going to be able to overload your triceps even more. So, exercise 2, close grip bench press, wrong form corrected. Make sure you're doing it right. The third exercise is actually an exercise that I like to do in my workouts. It's really great for targeting your rear delts and your upper traps, and is the barbell upright row. And the reason why this exercise gets so much hate is because 90% of the people I see doing it in the gym are doing it wrong, and they're grabbing the bar with their hands as close as possible. And it's a little different than the close grip bench press. People usually grab the barbell closer with their hands on the close grip bench press because they think the name implies close grip. The reason why you see people do upright rows like this with their hands so close together is because the closer your hands are together, the more weight you're going to be able to lift. Unfortunately, the closer your hands are together, the more you're going to have shoulder impingement. And I'm sure if any of you guys went over to a barbell right now and you grabbed it with your hands like that and you lifted it even to here, you start to feel some pinching inside of your shoulder. So not good. So if you want to incorporate this exercise into your routine, make sure you do it right. And the right way is a grip outside of shoulder width. And what this is also going to do is, aside from alleviate the shoulder impingement issue, as you bring the weight up, you're going to feel a lot more upper trap and rear deltoid engagement as you do the movement. Now, of course, you have to go a little bit lighter than when you were doing your close grip like this, but you're actually working the muscles harder with a wide grip, so you should be doing it that way anyways. Now we're moving on to the fourth exercise, and if you guys have been enjoying the video so far, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you never miss a new video upload from me. So this exercise, this is actually more for the ladies, so hashtag for the ladies. And the reason why I say for the ladies is because you'll mostly see women doing this exercise in the gym. Not to say that men can't do it, it's just usually women in their gym, they're trying to find 30 different exercises to work their legs and their glutes, which is fine, but an exercise like this is more of a case of doing something that's better versus this being bad, because you will get activation doing this exercise. And it's basically a glute ham pull through with a rope. And the way you perform this movement is you hold the rope like this, your arms are going to rest on your inner thighs, and you're going to sit back as far as you can, and then push through your heels, and then flex your butt cheeks as hard as you can at the top of the movement, and repeat for reps. And what's wrong with this exercise, guys, is a couple different things. Number one, you're going to be limited to how much weight you can lift based on how much you actually weigh. And what I mean by that is your glutes are one of the strongest muscle groups in your body, and I guarantee you're going to be able to eventually lift more weight than how much you weigh. So if you're a woman doing this exercise and you weigh like 110 pounds, there's no way you're going to be able to do that entire stack without being thrown backwards into the machine if you lose your footing. And the other problem I have with this too, guys, is the way you have to hold the rope when you get to here, it's just really uncomfortable. And your grip might give out eventually too, depending on how strong that is. So there's just a lot of things going on here that are taking away from what you're trying to do, which is maximize that glute engagement. So you're much better off doing a barbell hip thrust or a barbell glute bridge to maximize those gains. And really quick, let's go over proper form. So a barbell hip thrust is when you actually use the back of a bench to hold yourself in the air. So you're going to take a barbell, you're going to place it across your hips like this, then you're going to slide down and get into place, and your upper back is going to be the only thing that's touching the bench right here. You're going to sit down as far as you can, so your butt to the ground, and then you're going to push through your legs, get to the top, and then flex your butt cheeks as hard as you can at the top of the movement, and repeat for reps. And when you do this, guys, make sure you fully extend and even almost hyperextend your hips at the top of the movement. And the same thing goes for the barbell glute bridge. And if you're watching this and you're a dude and you've never done a barbell glute bridge before, but you really want to improve your squat and your deadlift, this is an exercise that you should be doing. And if you guys follow my push-pull legs program, you'll notice that's exactly why this exercise is in that program. And for the barbell glute bridge, this is done off the floor. And all you do is push the barbell into your thighs, extend your hips to the ceiling, flex your butt as hard as you can, bring the weight back down, and repeat for reps. And these two movements, the barbell glute bridge and the barbell hip thrust, are way more superior for glute engagement than that ever will be. And the fifth and final exercise that needs to go away forever is the dumbbell tricep kickback. And the actual movement itself isn't bad. It's using a dumbbell that it's bad. Let me explain. When you do a dumbbell tricep kickback, guys, and I mean, you know, a lot of these exercises, like I said in the beginning, I used to do this all the time until I knew better. And the reason why this is a bad movement is because basically from here to here, there's nothing going on. You can be holding 50 pounds, 60 pounds. Granted, your shoulder might get tired, but your tricep ain't getting engaged in this range of motion. The only time that tricep is getting engaged is when you get from here to here. And then you're going to marry your results. See what I did there? So the alternative to that is this. You can still do a tricep kickback, but if you want to make it effective, you need to use a cable machine, because a cable machine is going to apply resistance to your tricep throughout the entire range of motion. We talk a lot about the stretch and the flex being really big parts of engagement with no matter what muscle group you're training in order to see results. And if you guys want to be able to take advantage of the stretch, which is where you get the most muscle breakdown for regrowth, then you need to be able to do this on a cable machine so that even when you're in this position, the weight pulling this way is placing a huge stretch on the triceps, which is ripping and tearing that muscle tissue down. And then as you pull back, you get a nice flex. There's still constant tension on the triceps as you return back to the starting position and repeat for reps. So if you're currently using dumbbells, I want you to switch to cables, and you'll see a whole new world of gains when it comes to your triceps workout. So there you guys have it, 5 exercises that need to go away forever, but probably never will unless they watch this video. If you enjoyed it, guys, please show some love by smashing that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if there's exercises that you don't like that you want to let me know about, make sure you post them down in that comment section below. Maybe what I'll do is I'll do a collective of all your comments, and then I'll shout you guys out in another video, and I'll title it something like 5 exercises the community hates that'll never go away, something like that. We'll have some fun. But anyways, guys, hope you have a great week, and as always, more good stuff coming soon. See ya.